Pablo,
Lunchie,
Carlos,
and Axel.
Welcome to Quatro.
4 people,
4 opinions.
1 topic.
And go.
welcome
That was well executed.
That was
executed with
millisecond
the precision
execution.
of a Bali execution.
Oh
Let's
my God.
do it.
And it definitely wasn't the second take of an intro.
Axe, what do we got this week?
All right. So today we are doing Am I the Arsehole again? Because it's really popular
Good way to
and
start.
we're
I like
whores,
it.
so we
like
just
it.
do what's
Everyone
popular,
likes
right?
it.
Nothing like a bit
Let's
of
do it.
adjudication.
I know. All right. So
Enlighten us.
the title is Am I the Arsehole for selling a family heirloom to pay for my destination wedding? Lunchie's already laughing.
Family heirloom.
Yeah.
Who cares? Let's go.
I've got to know what it is. Go on.
All right.
Yeah.
My fiancée, a 38-year-old female, and I, a 39-year-old male, are planning to get married this summer. We both want to have quite a lavish wedding at a winery in another state. The two of us agree that it's the most important occasion in our lives, so we should make it as memorable as possible. We both have stable jobs and a good amount of savings, but it's not quite enough for the admittedly ambitious plans we have in our heads. My father passed away in January, and in his will he left me a very valuable, think more than 5 figures, family heirloom. I'm not much for big family traditions, so although it's a nice thing to have, I'm not massively attached. I have plenty of other good memories from my father, and I don't need a fancy heirloom to remember him by. My brother, a 34-year-old male, however, has a huge history nerd and is really attached to it. He was very upset by my father's decision in the will to give it to him, traditionally passed on to firstborn sons, and my fiancé and I don't plan to have children. So I think he therefore assumed that he or his children would be in line if I were to pass away. After some discussion, my wife-to-be and I decided that we'd like to sell the heirloom to pay for our wedding. My brother, who is also my best man, was furious when he found out and said he wanted nothing to do with the wedding anymore. He thinks my wife-to-be and I are behaving like spoiled brats, and in addition, he's convinced my uncle and cousins not to come to the wedding either. With our parents having passed away, this means that virtually none of my family will attend the wedding, which I'm really upset about. Poor little baby.
Jeez.
And I think since I legally inherited the heirloom, I can do what I want with it. I think he's just upset because I ruined his expectations of one day inheriting it. But since my uncle and cousins agree with him enough and they're not coming to the wedding, I'm not so sure I'm in the right. Am I the asshole?
Ooh, hold on. So what is it again? What
It's
is?
a valuable family heirloom.
But there's no.
They don't say
I'm
what.
going to call
what
it a
is.
vase. It's a vase.
I think there's
Is it a necklace?
for context we should know what it is,
Okay.
right?
But he's
but
a historical
let's-
buff, so it'll be something of historic value as
Yeah.
well.
It's
as
a
family.
no
musket.
edit?
it's a musket.
it's a
It's a
valuable
Let's just
wooden
call it a
mask,
vase.
a wooden mask
Let's
that was
just call it a
found
vase.
under a bridge.
Yeah.
Maybe, because look, if it was an Egyptian, like
It's something
like,
very valuable.
if, you know, then 5 figures is like tens of thousands, right?
Yeah.
It's not hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
So it's not that valuable, right? Like I mean, it's obviously valuable.
And this is
but,
the argument. It's
I mean, it could be
valuable.
90,000.
Yeah,
And
it could be,
keep in
but it
mind
cannot
that-
be 100, right?
Yeah, so-
Keep in mind that they all probably got something,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh,
So
this family
he's
sounds
just choosing to do what he wants to do with what he's been given. If he's the only one that got the only thing of value,
Yeah, maybe there's.
then maybe there might be
Then
some
I- look-
eyebrows
Yeah.
lifted. But
Yeah.
No.
That also, I think, how long has it been in the family? Was there a clarification about
It's
that?
historical value, so it's
it's
a
been
path
through the
down for fathers
family.
and sons for many generations.
Sounds like the right time for a very valuable lesson, doesn't it?
I would say either a sword, maybe a family crest or something, if it's been passed down to all the sons over the years. I'm thinking something that maybe would have been used 100, 200 years ago.
Let's look at the purpose of an heirloom for a moment, shall we?
it's been passed down.
It's got that lovely history and he's just ruined it.
Yeah, because then you're not the owner of it; you're the custodian.
Exactly.
Right?
And then his brother technically should have got it upon his passing, and then the brother's firstborn son.
There's a responsibility to the first in line, right?
First,
Like okay, no,
You know,
that's
then
the
there
wrong.
wouldn't have been
listen,
value
listen,
there,
listen.
right?
So, no, this is what I'm saying. So the person in the family that goes, I'm going to take this sword and I'm going to give it to the next next person. I'm the guy with that idea. I have to understand that there is a chance that that's not going to be the case forever.
As you pass it down,
Yes.
on every passing,
There is a
there's a chance
chance
that someone's
that
going to
is-
snake
or
it
That's right.
and have a wedding.
That's right. There is
Don't
always that
wedding,
chance.
Unless there's always been this understanding that you are, like you said, the custodian, and Grandpa gave it to him.
Well, Grandpa should have known
knowing
better.
that he was going to look after it.
Yeah, because
Trusted him with this thing.
supposedly every generation leading up to that point has abstained from cashing it in. Right?
I learned this
And for
lesson,
something
hey.
so
Yeah, but
I-
to be fair, the older it gets, probably the more valuable it becomes.
And
So
True.
it just gets more and more tempting.
But-
Yeah,
Each
and that's the thing.
generation.
But the thing is, to trade it in for something so transient, and I'm so sorry, but marriages don't always last forever.
I love this
and you're
train
giving
wreck.
away this massive thing for something that might not even last.
Yeah, but see, I like the whole selling it for the wedding thing. I'm not buying that. They just want the money.
Yeah, that's I heard lies.
They're gonna have the wedding they want anyway.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Why-
Like,
I reckon, yeah.
Wouldn't you give them the option? Wouldn't you say, guys,
Do you
I'm
wanna
going
buy
to
it?
sell this. I'll sell it to you guys.
That was one of my points.
for
Discounted-
75% of the value.
discounted price.
Well, that's a step up. That's got to be a step up. Give everyone the opportunity
I
to
think
buy
I
it.
think it's a decent negotiation. I can see how it would cause a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Yes.
Still, right?
is
If everyone
complicated.
has stepped out of the wedding, to me that shows the value of what it was and how out of character this is for that family.
How recent is this post? I need to
must have
know.
been-
It's all within the last
It
week.
must have been.
Oh,
6
okay.
months
So
ago.
so we may have a sway if you post our arguments on this right?
Don't
we
do it,
may have
buddy.
a sway
Yeah.
in
So it
this
hasn't
yet.
actually been sold
So
yet.
No, I
let's
think it's- I think
assume
it's
that
been
our
sold.
words
Yeah.
may influence one way or the other. What do you say?
Family heirlooms annoy me.
Okay.
Look, I say,
Great start.
I say, I say, get over it. Like, no, like, yes, I understand why you would be emotional about it, but seriously, you're having family arguments over a materialistic.
Attachment's dumb,
Yeah,
right?
It's your dad's gone. The
Yeah.
memories remain.
That's
Objects
right. And they're
come
the
and go.
things that you want to keep.
Like exactly. Like, and now you're throwing everything away because of a material possession. So I say get over it
Okay.
with great power.
Now,
with complications,
Yeah, so
obviously,
now
and
I-
understanding and compassion.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I've experienced another side of things. So I come from a family. So my great grandfather was basically dumped in Durban as an indentured servant. He was kicked out of the UK because he threw a pot of ink at the commanding officer of the Naval College that
I
he'd been
love
forced to go to. And he landed in South Africa with 2 little suitcases. One had a banjo and sheet music and the other had underpants and a jacket. That's all he had, and he was an indentured slave pretty much. And he went through hell. And so over time, he and his wife built up a collection of very special little things and pieces of furniture that they had either made or bought. Then my gran collected things, and then all of it was passed on to my mother and myself through my gran. And when I lived in South Africa, I had my grandmother's Welsh dresser, which had all this, shelves on top, and they had intricate carvings and all the shelves and doors and the plates and cups and sherry glasses and wall hangings, copper stuff. I had a bedpan, an actual antique bedpan from back then. Lots of really precious things that I used. They were active use heirlooms. And when I moved over here, there was a promise that I would be able to keep these things. And so certain items that weren't too large, I packed in storage to bring over. And the person who promised never brought them over. And the stuff is now at their family's place and lost to forever. So I know the feeling of losing an
But hang on,
heirloom that
is
I love.
But is that theft?
It is to a degree.
So that's a little bit juicier.
Slightly different.
And
yeah.
I can't really do anything about it.
No.
No.
But
No.
but see,
Different country, no one cares. So I've had to
That would
really
piss me
let
off
go. Oh, I've lost so much. I've had to let go. I composed over 80 classical pieces, and they're all on paper, written in a box at this person's house, and I'll never see them again.
Jesus.
Classical, Latin, choir and orchestra, all sorts of stuff. So I know what it's like to have an heirloom snatched from me. And I think that's what the family will be feeling. Like, this is not a choice that they all had together. It's not like he said, hey, guys, can we meet? This is the heirloom. This is what we'd like to do. No one's really using it or whatever. Do you mind? Can I make a memory instead? Do I have your blessing? It sounds like he's just snatchy. You know, it's mine. I don't care. Snatch.
Yep.
And I've been on the receiving end of that experience.
But this item was given with intent to this person.
Yeah, but passed on heirlooms always have that expectation, always, of being passed on. So my kids should have got my things that I was using from my great-grandpa.
So
Maybe I need to find value in something. Like an heirloom.
Well, let's.
I need to experience. I cut myself off from like physical possessions, right? So I don't believe in them. I think this is dumb. I think having things is dumb.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm having trouble here. I'm having a lot of trouble here. I want to hear this.
I live in a caravan.
Value in heirlooms. I've got kids who put value in
So you
heirlooms.
see this from the exact opposite point. You can see.
Can we establish something? If you're going to set up an heirloom with your family, make sure it's something
with great power comes great responsibility,
but not a valuable thing.
Yes, if it's
and
too
maybe
valuable.
have legal papers.
No, because if it's not valuable, right? If it's not valuable, then no one's tempted to sell it.
Yes.
True.
Right? But if the value is in the sentiment, right?
I just figured out what my heirloom's going to be.
What is it?
Skin shoes.
Shout out to next episode.
Shout out to a future episode.
Well said.
Future focus.
Can't wait to see that
like
episode.
Human skin shoes.
Yeah, because we've got like this wooden carved heart, and it's kind of flat on the back and front. It's got little sort of wooden beads and everything. And my kids gave it to me as a gift, and one of them wrote their name in their little baby handwriting on the front in Texter, and the other wrote their name on the back. And then it hung in my office, and then whoever snuck in would turn their name face forward so that it was a message to me of like, I love you. I would go and it would be the one and then the other and then the one and then the other. And they did that for years, and now it's in my drawer safe because it got a bit older.
Yep.
And my one child, the younger one, was like, this is so precious. Please don't throw it away. Give it to me when you want to throw it away.
See,
I'll
that's
keep
dope.
It forever.
Not necessarily worth a lot of money, but it's
they'll keep
worth
it till
so
they
much.
die.
Yeah,
They'll
see?
keep it forever.
If someone else can write their name on it, right, later,
well,
and as it passes down the chain, they keep writing their name on it
here's
until
the
they're out of
problem
real
with-
estate.
here's the problem with that,
Then they
though.
NFT it, and
Exactly.
Let's argue that this sword that we've just made up in our heads,
Yeah.
right? That may have been valueless at the time.
Maybe.
Just like your heart box with the names,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
that's it.
if that type of wood goes
Yeah.
extinct, or
Yeah, you
there's
never
like
know.
this
Yeah.
the
Waterworld.
members of your family, including yourself,
Yeah.
become overly famous, or
Yes.
any number of reasons that may create value. Hey, so
Yeah.
look, we don't know what we're handing on.
Yeah, my kids got weirdly attached to a camping tent, a toilet tent, because they used to black market to write their adventures, like funny quotes from camp. Got to the point this thing was shitty, it was torn, it was fucked, and I couldn't throw it out. The kids were crying, you can't get out the panels. I was like, I'm not keeping a toilet tent because you drew an
talk to
iguana
Uncle
on it.
Lunchie.
in
Let me tell you
2014.
about possessions.
Come hang with my kids. My kids will rewrite that. But yeah.
All right. Well, until next time, hey.
Yeah, this was awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks for
Hang on.
joining.
Did we decide if they're assholes?
Oh, are they an arsehole?
I think he's an asshole.
Oh, I'm going to say not an
I've got to
arsehole.
say not an asshole as well. We're a camp divided here, folks.
I think he's an arsehole.
Okay, two on two.
Two arseholes and
Two
two
on two.
non-arseholes.
All right. Good night.
Very good.
Like and subscribe.
Subscribe.